Hi, my name is Jack Calvin. I've been a professional juggler for over 30 years. I've traveled all around the world performing my show. And I've taught thousands of people how to juggle. Today I'm going to teach you the most basic three-ball juggling pattern. It's called the Cascade. And then I'll show you some of my favorite three-ball tricks. To learn the Cascade, we're going to start with just one ball. And the first thing we need to do is learn to throw and catch one ball properly. So start with your hands out in front of you with your palms facing up. We're going to hold the ball loosely in one hand and then bring it down by your side before throwing it. And the goal is to get it to go up and come down and land right in the other hand. So we're going to keep our hands down here and keep your eyes up here at the top. Look at the ball when it reaches the top. Actually try to focus on the ball. Some jugglers will say, look through the pattern, juggle peripherally, but when you're learning, it's a lot easier to focus on the ball. You get the most information about where it's going to land that way. I keep my shoulders relaxed, and I throw mostly with my elbow. I'll turn to the side so you can see that better. And I throw the ball about as high as my head, or slightly higher. You want to predict where the ball is going to land, and then put your hand under it. So don't reach up to catch the ball. Wait for the ball to come down. If your throws are good, the catches will be easy. Practice this for a few minutes. Keep throwing the ball back and forth. Try to get it always to go to the same height. Try to do it without reaching very far. You should be able to do this with your eyes closed. Well, maybe not really with your eyes closed, but you can feel like you can do it with your eyes closed. If this is too easy and boring, try some tricks. Throw it under your leg. See if you can do it with your hands really wide. Or you can try throwing it over your shoulder or behind your back. But don't get too crazy with it. We want to have mostly successes. That's really all you need to do. That's the basic move you're going to need to juggle three balls. So once you've got that mastered, we can move on to two balls. Okay, now we're ready for two balls. Hold one ball in each hand, just like you did before. You're going to throw the first ball up, about that high, and when you see it start to come down, you're going to throw the second ball under it. It's going to look like this. Throw, throw. Don't worry about catching them. The catches will come later. The important thing is, make two good throws. Get them both up to the same height. Right, left. And if you throw them both to the same height, they'll come down, catch, catch. Right, left. Left, right. Look at each ball when it gets to the top. Right, left. Left, right. Notice I keep it all in one plane here. I don't reach out in front of the other ball to throw. Right, left, left, right. After each two throws, stop and relax. Then visualize what you want to happen. You want to practice this until it's easy. If you can do it about 10 times in a row, you're ready for three balls. Okay, we're finally ready for three balls. Hold two balls in one hand, one ball in the other. And you're going to want to put the two balls in the hand that you want to start with. I'm going to start with my right. The first two throws are going to be exactly the same. But when you see the second ball come down, that's when you throw the third one. And it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3. If you do it right, all the balls will cross to the opposite hand. They'll all go to the same height. You'll have a nice even rhythm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A lot of people have a hard time throwing the third ball, so it helps to say the numbers out loud. 1, 2, 3. I know it's not easy, but we want to try to keep everything in one plane here. We don't want anything to go forwards or backwards. 1, 2, 3. Just do 3 throws and stop. And every time you throw, notice that you're throwing under the ball that's coming down. Scooping the ball into the middle every time. 1, 2, 3. Did you catch them all? Congratulations, you are now juggling 3 balls. Okay, here's an alternate exercise you can try. 2 balls in one hand. This may be less confusing. There's only 2 balls, you only have to use one hand at a time, but you do have to move that one hand faster. than if you're just juggling 3 balls. Again, try to keep everything in one plane, like this. You're always scooping into the middle and throwing it from near the middle of your body, but now instead of crossing over to the other side, as you did with 3 balls, you're throwing it back to the same hand, so you're going to throw it that way. When you're doing 2 in 1 hand, you're always throwing from the inside to the outside. And notice that if you do this with both hands at the same time, you'll be juggling 4 balls. It's the easiest way to do 4 balls. This is called the fountain. And it might look like the balls are crossing if you get your hands close together, but you can see by the different colors that they never switch hands. You can also do them synchronized like this. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Back to 3 balls. 1, 2, 3. When 3 throws feels comfortable, just don't stop. When the 3rd ball comes down, you'll throw the 4th ball up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it'll help to count, because some people get stuck after the 3rd one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left. Just try to get all the balls to the same height. Nice even rhythm. Focus on each ball at the top. Remember to stay relaxed, especially your shoulders. The most common problem that people have is throwing out in front of them when they juggle. We want the balls to stay right in front of our face when we juggle. So to fix the problem of throwing forwards, I suggest trying to overcompensate. Lean back a little bit and try to walk backwards when you juggle. I find that suggestion helps a lot of people. The best way to improve your juggling is just to keep practicing. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And eventually, you don't even have to look at the balls anymore. You can look through the pattern and juggle with your peripheral vision. You can read a book, you can watch television. The more time you put in, the better your juggling will be. Okay, so now you're comfortable with the Cascade, and we can start to get creative with it. Fortunately, there are literally an endless variety of tricks you can learn with 3 balls. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and trust me, you never run out of options for new tricks to explore. I'm going to show you some of my favorites right now. A common first trick to learn is throwing one over the top. Instead of scooping in to throw, you're going to scoop outward and throw it up over the top. Be sure to try it on the other side too. And if you keep one ball going back and forth over the top, it's called tennis. You can stretch it out. You can learn it with all the balls on one side. That's called a half reverse. Be sure to learn the other side. And if you do it with both sides, it's called a full reverse or a reverse cascade. Another fairly easy trick to try is the 1-up, 2-up, or columns. Start by just throwing one ball high in the middle and then wait for it to come down. And then go back into a cascade. When that starts to feel comfortable, you can throw one ball up high in the middle, throw the other 2 on the outside, and then throw the one back up in the middle again, and then go back into a cascade. So it'll be 1, 2, 1, back to a cascade. 1, 2, 1, back to a cascade. And then you can just keep going. This is a lot easier if you've worked on 2 in 1 hand, because basically that's what you're doing. Your right hand is doing 2 in 1 hand, but instead of doing it in a circle, as you were doing before, you're doing it in columns. My right hand is just doing 2 in 1 hand. My left hand is mirroring one of the throws. Another similar trick is right, right, left, left. In this trick, the hands take turns doing 2 in 1 hand for just 2 throws. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Both hands get practice at doing 2 in 1 hand. And learning two in one hand is the basis for a lot of great tricks. With practice, you can get good enough with two in one hand that you can move the other hand independently. This enables you to then follow one of the balls and create a lot of interesting patterns. If you learn these tricks with both hands, it opens up a world of possibilities. Here's a fancy 3-ball start that's easier than it looks. You hold 3 in one hand like this. And the key to this is that it's all in the flick of the wrist. Like that. We'll do it with just 2 balls first. Practice just flicking your wrist so that one ball goes a lot higher than the other. You can start like that, so that the high one goes across to the other hand. When that feels good, try it with all 3. Just have that one ball that you're going to push higher than the other 2. We'll throw all 3 of them up, grab the 2 low ones so that you're ready for the 3rd one. And then you can try it under your leg, which is not any harder. Okay, one more thing. You need a fancy finish. Here's my favorite. It's called a 1-up 360. Let's just practice the spin part. We're going to throw one high. Throw it very high so you have time. Then we're going to spin around and catch it. And don't try to look at it the whole time it's up there. Throw, then spin, then look for it to catch. If the throw is good, it'll be easy. Then put it into the juggling. Ta-da! Thank you for watching. I hope you'll enjoy juggling as much as I do. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Keep on practicing, and don't forget to subscribe to Wired.